Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report. We're going to take a look at One World Under Doom number 5 of 9. This is the big event running through Marvel, so I'm going to go through it page by page and give you my thoughts. But before that happens, hit subscribe. Go on, go do it right now. It will really help me and the channel, and I really appreciate it. And of course, if you like the video, give it a like at the end. So let's get into this book. I've not been a big fan. The story has been... I don't know how to describe it really, which is a bit silly because I'm trying to review it, but twee. It's just a bit like, oh, is that what's happening? Okay. Oh, is that what the Avengers did? Oh, it's just there's no excitement to it. It just feels really, really poor. I think again, it's going to be a semi-negative review. Because it's just not good. I don't think it's having any effects on the Marvel Universe. It's not as thrilling as some of the other events that have gone before it. It just feels like we need some Doom stories because there's a little film coming out soon, all right, which is going to feature Doom, and that's what this feels like. It feels like let's get Doom back into the the psyche. Let's get him back into the news. Let's get him out there so that everyone gets excited about Doom and come and watch the movies. It really isn't. It isn't anything much more than that to me, but let's catch up from the last issue. Basically, Doom has been facing off against the big bad, which is Dormammu, and he's taken Doom down to basically a bag of broken bones and meat. And it looks like Doom, yes, the great Doom might be defeated, but he brings in the Avengers, the Fantastic Four and the X-Men, and they align to fight together as one. He's got these people that have been trying to take him down, and now they're all fighting next to him, side by side, for the same cause. So this is going to look, it's going to look a certain way to the rest of the world who've watched these heroes try and take him down. Now they're fighting side by side, so it shows that maybe Doom was right. And this is essentially what this issue is about. Is like, is Doom right? But here we go. Beautiful art. The art is really, really, really cool. I noticed Doom's got some magical crutches there because he can barely stand up. But they're fighting Dormammu, which gives Doom a time to slope off to this pit that he was in earlier. While that's happening, the heroes are kind of questioning whether or not they should take orders from Doom. And Captain Marvel says, just do it. So boom, they're united. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But he retrieves the eye of the Agamotto from this pit that he was in earlier, where he was getting pretty messed up. And it starts rebuilding him. Starts repairing his bones, giving him his strength back, amplifying his magic. His armor reappears and rebuilds, and he's ready to take Dormammu down. And that's what he does, using magic to hold his bones together, even as their raw edges cut across my nerve endings. And it just overkills of like, do you know what? Every single part of my body is giving up on me, but I'm strong enough. I'm strong enough to fight through this pain because I am Doom. It's just so heavy with the like, oh, I'm so powerful. I'm so determined. I'm really, really, really fighting through it all. And it just loses your attention. And then he absolutely blasts the living hell out of Dormammu. And I don't know why he didn't do that earlier in the battles. I mean, why didn't he, do all of this magic earlier on? I don't know why we got a whole issue of them fighting if he could just, retrieve his magic trinket and blast the shit out of him. It's bizarre. Anyway, they think he's killed him. He says, no, I've neutralized him. I've banished him back to his dimension, and I've held him there in internal spells of my own design. But he also says that this is forever magic, and apparently that doesn't exist. He's like, it does exist. I've just used it. I've anchored it to an event here on Earth. So what that basically means is he's anchored it to do himself, basically. He anchored it to this event. And if something happens to Doom, then the magic is broken, and then Dormammu can return and try and take over the world. So he's kind of backed the Avengers, Fantastic Four, the X-Men into a corner here because they can't kill him, basically, because if they do, all hell's going to break loose, literally. So we get this sort of often overused media coverage of what's going on, so we know how the world is reacting in one page to really get the story to where it needs to be, because none of it really is making any sense anyway. But we need to let the reader know that the world knows this now, and that Doom's amazing plan is all coming to fruition, and Doom is wonderful, and the Avengers are stood next to him, so he must be right. And again, it's these lazy plot devices. Anyway, after the battle, We also find out that Doom, he saved a ton of people. So one of the buildings that was blown up was like I call it a custodial service, like a federal building, a government building. And he, before the fight begun, he encapsulated every single person in that building in a magic protective bubble. So no one died, which further shows, well, maybe Doom was right. Maybe he does care about the people. Maybe we've got him all wrong. And that's the conversation that breaks out between Iron Man, who doesn't believe Doom, of course, because as he says, let me find it. He says his name is literally Doom. There we go. And that's true. But Thor's the one that's causing the ruckus here. See, Thor comes in and says, you know what? I'm starting to think that Doom is right. Like, since Doom's taken over, like, the world's been better. There's a better education and better food. There's been less crime. Everything is better. So why are you trying to stop him? Like where I come from, the land of the gods, we have the same kind of thing. One man rules over all the kingdoms, and it's been great. Has he made mistakes? Yes, but essentially everything is better for it. And now that I'm that person, since Odin died, I kind of think this is a good idea. But Tony loses his shit. He really does. He's not happy about it. And it's sowing confusion in between all of the heroes. They're starting to think, actually, should we just let this slide? Should we stop trying to fight someone who is making a huge difference on the world? But just before they all sort of make their mind up, a familiar face turns up, Maria Hill, and she says, listen, just listen. Doom is bad. All right. I know why you keep losing and he keeps winning. All right. And he's hiding something big. We know where it is and we know how to get it, but it's going to take all of us. So what is Doom hiding? What is he hiding? What is this thing that's going on in the background? I mean, Maria doesn't look in good health there. She's looked like she's been through the wars too. And then this story is continued in 2 months. I'm not sure why there's a month break, but it continues in 2 months. So there we have it. This is issue 5. Now, most of these issues I've not enjoyed, but this one wasn't bad at all, actually. There's some cool moments where Sue Storm makes all the debris invisible so you can see if there's any survivors underneath. There's nice ideas in here. There are some nice ideas. The art is absolutely beautiful. I'm really, really loving the art. I think this story's taken a long time to get somewhere, and we're finally there. So maybe this is that halfway point, that pivotal point where all this setup's been made and we really get to the guts of this story. So I just want to say it's RB Silva on the art. As I've said, the art is great, so I want to shout him out. It's been amazing. But there we go. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours. Subscribe, all that jazz, like, notification bells, all the thing that good YouTubers usually say at the end of the video. But I will see you in the next one. Take care.